Today we have a virtual reality lab right here on campus that brings us into a whole new world. And later we see how to take football off of the field. Stay tuned on Studio A. Hello and welcome. I'm Imani Forrest, and with us today we have Jeffrey Hald, Megan Lopez, and Leighanne Coleman. Leighanne, let's start with your story. I know that you had a lab here on campus that deals with a lot of the virtual reality stuff that's in the news now. It's with the School of Social Work, I believe. Can you tell me a little about that?
Yeah, so I checked out the virtual reality lab here on campus, and basically what it is this new form of technology using a headset that will put you into certain social situations. For instance, there was like a texting and driving situation where I actually got to experience a car hitting me as texting and driving, so it was really.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and look at what she found.
When thinking of the future of Texas State, many things come to mind. But for one piece of new technology, the future is right now. Hidden inside of Derrick Hall lies the Texas State School of Social Work's crown jewel, a virtual reality technology lab.
VR provides experiences that most people just wouldn't have the opportunity to do.
Scott Smith, the director of the lab, also says it features some of the most technologically advanced equipment and software that the university has to offer.
Our students will have access to the latest technology, will be a part of the development of this field.
The lab makes use of a head-mounted display which places users wherever the headset might take them.
That includes a distracted driving scenario, an alcoholism trigger scenario, and a radiation therapy training scenario, among several other possibilities.
I think this lab holds a lot of research possibilities for Texas State. Basically every discipline I think can have something that could use this in some sort of way, whether it's research, training, all sorts of applications. Basically the possibilities are endless.
Students are encouraged to come check out this new technology and see what else is to come as the university only continues to grow.
The growth of Texas State has kind of been parallel with the growth of virtual reality. It's really cool that this is one of the few universities that have a virtual reality lab. A lot of them are really big names like Stanford, MIT. So it's very interesting, all this technology is super new, and the really cool thing that we're doing here is using that technology as a way to help people that have these anxieties that keep them out of society as ways to bring them back into society.
Awesome. That was really cool, Leighanne. I saw that you talked to the people involved with creating this lab. Did you get to discuss at all how they felt the future of virtual reality was really headed?
Yeah, it was actually really cool talking to the creators about where the future of this is going. They were talking about even having like a modified version of this for everyday life, to bring out to like the mall and have on. And then you see a dress you like and you put these on and you can see yourself physically in that dress before you purchase it. So
wow.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I have a question. So is this lab open to all students here on campus?
Yeah, actually the lab has always been open for students here on campus. However, they did want to work out all the kinks and everything before making the big announcement. So be on the lookout for the big announcement. It's coming up soon. So.
Do you know if it's free?
Yeah, actually anyone here paying tuition at Texas State, it's free and open. So go check it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Leighanne. Now we all know it's that time of year to choose more classes, and for some of us that means picking classes to fulfill our minor. Unfortunately, our Studio A reporter Kevin Quintero can't be here with us today, but he did make a story on it. Let's see what he did.
For some students, committing to one specific major is hard enough, but some of those majors also require a minor. Students are often confused on making this decision. Often the choice comes down to choosing something fun or something serious that aligns best with their career path. Harry Bowers is a senior academic advisor for the School of Mass Communication.
Well, the goal of the minor is to complement the major, so depending upon what one's career goals are upon graduation, we kind of work backwards from there to take a look at what minors may be most appropriate to help you reach that career goal.
Some students, like Liarda Skirty, have created their own paths by merging two minors into one.
You can't just follow someone's path that they have written out. You got to find your own way, because I've met so many people who just, especially through the theater program, who just kind of build their own paths, and that's what I've done.
Once you have an idea on what it is you want to do, you can go about exploring options with an advisor to see what minors work best for you.
Awesome. That was a really good story. I know that we here all already have our minors chosen. So can you guys tell me a little bit about that process? Megan, let's start with you.
Yes, my minor is actually media studies, and I picked that because my major is mass communications, electronic media, and so it's something that interests me, and they both deal with the media, and that's what I want to get into, so yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Jeff?
So I actually had to get through college as quick as possible. Funds were running out, and I asked my advisor. She informed me that I had 2 classes left to be an English minor, so I'm an English minor.
Awesome. And what about you, Leighanne?
So I'm psychology minor. It was basically something that just interests me since freshman year. So I took a class. It was easy. It came easy to me, and so that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Well, that sounds fun too. You guys at home, stay tuned, because up next we figure out how to skydive without jumping out of a perfectly good plane.
Meet up with friends at the Student Recreation Center to take part in a variety of activities. You can sign up for specialty classes such as yoga, rent equipment using your student ID, or bring your own to challenge your friends to a game of racquetball or a battle of ping pong. Rain or shine, it's always game time. For more information, go to campusrecreation.txstate.edu. What will you do today?
Welcome back to Studio A. Up next, we have a story about a San Marcos football team that found a really unique way to play the game. Megan, this was your story. Can you tell us a little about it?
Yes, so it is a football league here in San Marcos, and it was created by a Texas State alumni. But what makes this whole league so unique is it's actually all on a unicycle. So football on a unicycle, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've definitely never seen that before. Let's take a look.
When people hear the word Texas, one of the many things that come to mind is football. But what about football on one wheel? Unicycle football is an odd mix between tackle and flag football, but instead of players playing in full pads and on their own 2 feet, they strap on bike helmets and saddle up on their unicycles.
We try to keep it as traditional as possible, with one exception: the wheel. The wheel. The one true wheel.
We keep it the one wheel.
The Unicycle Football League, also known as the UFL, is based in San Marcos and currently consists of 8 teams. Purdy B. Derby from Team Rolling Blackouts joined the UFL because of the uniqueness of the sport.
The first time I ever saw a unicycle football, my face hurt so bad because I smiled so big. And I've got a beautiful smile. It's pretty. That's what made me start.
And the players aren't alone in being drawn into this one-wheeled gridiron curiosity.
I think this is very interesting. Yeah, I'm very intrigued. There's free hot dogs, there's beer, and there's a bunch of strange people on unicycles.
What many people don't know is how close to home the history of this sport really is.
The league is the creation of Texas State alum Marcus Garland, who turned a childhood idea into the UFL in 2008.
I used to be a unicyclist. I thought playing unicycle on football would be really fun. Years later, I started a juggling club and decided that playing unicycle football would be fun to introduce to them.
Since that introduction, the number of teams, players, and spectators has grown, but Garland and the players plan on sticking to the San Marcos vibe and not changing anything about it.
We're doing it as grassroots as possible, and none of us, intended for this thing to get as big as it already has.
It's the only place in the world. You'd be hard-pressed to find it anywhere else on the globe. That's correct.
This is it. You're standing among the few, the proud, the unicycle football players.
Awesome. That was actually really fun to watch, Megan. Thank you. I do have a question, though. Do you think that the injuries in this are more prevalent because they are on unicycles?
Well, compared to traditional football where it's like on grass and, where it's pavement with the unicycle, it usually depends because traditional, it's tackle and you're like, head-on collisions and stuff. Whereas unicycle, they use flackle, which is tackle and flag football. So it just depends usually.
Okay, makes sense.
So watching them all riding around on these unicycles, did you ever feel like you wanted to get up on one of them?
No, I did not. Hard pass on that.
Yeah, same. I have no balance. But thank you for that story, Megan. Earlier, you heard me say that we'd get all the fun of skydiving without the fear of jumping out of a plane. Jeffrey, this was your story. Did you take the plunge?
I actually did, and it was a lot of fun. The iFly facilities in Northwest Austin, and there's tons around the United States. And the appeal to this facility is people like me who are deathly scared of heights can experience skydiving, without having to be 10,000 feet above ground.
Yeah, it definitely sounds more appealing. Let's go ahead and see what he found.
There is no better way to blow off some steam than to expose yourself to 130 mile-per-hour winds inside of a multi-story building. Thrill enthusiasts and professional skydivers alike go to iFly Austin for this exact reason.
It's a unique experience and it's something fun and different to do.
The iFly facility in Austin is one of 22 across the country that allow thrill seekers to experience the rush of skydiving without jumping from a perfectly good plane. Among those willing to take the jump here is 12-year-old Isabella Penaloza, who is following in her dad's jumpsuit.
My dad, he's a Navy SEAL, so he used to do skydiving and stuff. So it looked really interesting, and I kind of want to try it out for myself.
First-time flyers must take a safety course before they suit up, and the people who run iFly say it's safe for most ages. Each jumper is under the supervision of 2 instructors. One instructor controls the speed of the wind, while the other is inside the tube helping the flyer stay safe and have fun.
Things are looking up here at iFly in Austin, Texas. Whether if it's a work event, a birthday party, or you're just looking for an adrenaline rush, there's no shortage of fun here.
And that goes for the instructors too. Not only do they need to have the right skills and safety know-how, but instructors like Nick Riedel are here to have fun and make the experience truly memorable.
I love flying myself, and I love teaching other people how to fly. Seeing other people smile and enjoy this as much as I do, makes it worth it.
iFly offers 4 skill levels to complete, so with each flight, Riedel and company will teach flyers something new. And at the end of the process, you too will be a free-falling superstar.
Wow, Jeff, that really did look pretty awesome. What did it feel like in that tunnel?
So there was a ton of wind, as I'm sure you could have gathered from that, but it was kind of like being weightless. At the same time, you have to be stiff in your core, so your back and your stomach have to be really tight, but the rest of you has to be relaxed, because if you have your arms or legs flailing, you're not going to be able to fly and you're going to end up on the side of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So for first-time flyers like myself, what exactly is the training process like? Do you know?
Yeah, it's pretty easy and quick. Basically, you go through a classroom setting, you watch an informative and pretty fun video. After the video, you actually get to lay on a table and an instructor will walk you through the proper flying techniques, just so when you get in there, you're prepared.
Awesome. Since it is such a quick training process, is it safe to go in there right off the bat?
Yeah, absolutely. No, so there's always 2 instructors watching you at all times. There's one inside the chamber controlling the wind speeds, and there's another one in the tunnel with you to make sure you're in control, and if anything happens, they can quickly grab you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing that story, and thanks you guys for watching. Make sure to catch up on YouTube and subscribe to our Studio A channel. This will be our second to last show, so next week's our last one. But until then, thank you to Leighanne Coleman, Megan Lopez, and Jeffrey Hald. I'm Imani Forrest. Thank you for watching Studio A.